Afternoon. I thought I'd do a short video of the progress of fitting me NRS engine, Norton Rotary, in the MK Duckham's Replica race frame twin shock. It's been quite a tight squeeze getting the engine in with the primary cover on. In fact, the engine brackets that was with the frame that we copied from Tony Haywood, they just don't line up. We'd have to make all new brackets with the primary cover on. It is, I think it is possible. Might be able to trim away a little bit of the primary cover. If I go down and zoom in, you'll just see how close it is. There is actually a gap there, but there's not much. And with my little adjuster set up here with the turnkey and bottle, I can adjust the frame up and down a millimetre at a time. But if I do that, the gearbox top bolt is nearly a full hole out with the primary cover on, and I'm just worried about, will we start to run into problems with the front engine mount. I think it is doable. Might be able to trim off the primary cover a little bit. The actual right hand end plate is fully relieved. It's a proper race right hand end plate, race gearbox, race left hand end plate. So all that is the real deal. If we go around the back of it, you have to forgive me. I haven't really used this gimbal before. Let's go around the back here. And catch up with us. See what? Have a look at the swinging arm setup there. What that is, it's a mix of F1 stuff actually. The swinging arms between here and here on my F1 swinging arm. My race swinging arms from 88 right through to 90, including a Works twin shock. They're all the same in between there. Roughly it's 5-inch. So that's pretty much the same. This here is that's an F1. It's part of the rear wheel adjuster system, but they're great for lining up. A really tight fit on the 20mm bar, and they're just right for going in the orifice. Doesn't matter whether it's race frame F1. They're great for when you're messing about with swinging arms and trying to get stuff lined up. So the next little job I want to do, thanks for Richard Negus and actually Brian Crichton and Dave Hickman, they all put me on right pointers here, is I need to get my swinging arm with the wheel spindle, the swinging arm spindle, and the output sprocket all in straight line. That's your swinging arm at mid-travel. And then what I've got some work shock absorbers. So if I measure whatever travel they are on them, halve it, that should give me my height there for doing the subframe. And then I can start working out on the subframe what we need to do. Unfortunately, the subframe is different to an RCW. If you look there, those two bosses there, on the RCW, they're sat on top of the frame beam here, and they're about the further back here, so the seat is actually shorter and it's wider. So just bear that in mind if you're buying one of Gavin's seats. It will fit. In fact, you'll fit the Gavin's seats, one of those replica seats, easier than a genuine Duckham's setup. So the next another thing we can do is get some carburetors thrown on it and see what they're like. as we can see there, where the engine placing is. I'm actually surprised how wide the beams are from the front engine mounts. I thought it'd have been closer than that, but that's what it is. And I'll just show you down here where the gearbox mounting is. You can see there. There's the top bolt. Now compared to the Commander, all this nicely fits. One of the things I do when I'm fitting an engine, I make sure when I put it in, all the bolts, with my little buster down there taking the weight, all the bolts are loose. There's no spring on any of the bolts, because the last thing you want on one of these engines is trying to pull it into shape with a nut and bolt. In fact, I had a chat with Stuart Tiller about that. When you see these frames, the spondon frames where cracked round bolt holes, that's generally why, because someone's there's used the bolts trying to pull something in line or something. You know, just make sure everything's nicely free, which you can do. With the primary cover off, it's not bad. But as I said, the next thing I've got to look at is get that swinging arm locked in the position and start with its up frame. Anyway, that'll do for today. So I hope you found it interesting. Thanks a lot.